Here is an update on the Chicago police officer shootings. Let's hear what they say.
It happened shortly before 11 Saturday morning inside Endeavor Health Swedish Hospital near Lincoln Square. Two officers from the 17th District were taking a man arrested earlier in the day for robbing a Family Dollar store into the hospital for observation when he somehow got hold of a gun and began shooting. The suspect fled the hospital and was found by police hiding under a porch a few blocks away, then taken into custody. Swedish Hospital was put on lockdown for part of the day, issuing a statement saying no patients or hospital personnel were hurt.
The individual was able to overcome the officers, and both officers, one has deceased, 38 years old, 10-year veteran of the police department. The other officer, a 57-year-old, is critically injured, currently fighting for his life. This is at Illinois Masonic Hospital where he was transported, 21-year veteran of the Chicago Police Department.
Officers saluted as the body of their fallen colleague was placed into an ambulance outside the hospital.
Dozens of officers and other officials lined up to honor him before he was taken to Cook County Medical Examiner's office. We also want to turn your attention to a live picture before that took off. Did a call and response with officers present where he said, quote, "He will never be forgotten."
Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, we're here. I'm sad to say that we've lost another officer in the line of duty and another officer who's been critically injured. At approximately 10:50 a.m., our officers transported an individual over to Swedish Covenant Hospital for an observation, at which time two of our officers were shot. We have an individual who's in custody right now, and a weapon recovered.
Today is a real difficult moment for our city. It's a tragedy. Our officers stand in the way of harm every single day, risking their own lives. And along with them risking their lives, they have family that expect them to come home. One of our officers will not be able to return to their family. And I'm calling on the entire city of Chicago to pray for this officer's family and that they heal from this tragedy. I'm also asking the city of Chicago to pray for one of our officers that is currently fighting for their life and is in serious condition. I want to thank our Chicago Police Department for showing up every single day for the people of this city. I want to thank the city of Chicago for putting their arms around our officers. We have to continue to ensure that our police department has the services and resources that they need to effectively do their job. That we're also providing the type of mental health support services that's also needed so that they can do their jobs well.
One officer is 38 years old, 10-year veteran of the department. The other officer is 57, 21-year veteran of the department. He was taken into custody for a suspected robbery. And usually when you see those types of crimes, these are very violent individuals. So
will eventually end at the ME's office. Now, when that procession started, the superintendent, before that took off, did a call and response with officers present where he said, quote, he will never be forgotten. And the officers here who were lined up responded to that and repeated what Snelling said. Now, there's still a lot more to learn. Snelling said that the investigation into everything that unfolded today remains ongoing.
The Chicago police officer in the shooting at Swedish Hospital yesterday has been identified as 38-year-old John Bartholomew. He and another officer were shot by a suspect who was already in custody.
We do know that there was a third weapon recovered, so we're doing a full investigation on that right now.
Both officers were rushed to Illinois Masonic Hospital in Lincoln Park, a level 1 trauma center. a 38-year-old officer and 10-year veteran of the department. The second officer, 57 years old and a 21-year CPD vet, was critically injured. Then a long line of police cars escorted the officer to the Cook County Medical Examiner's office, where family members gathered for prayers.
You know, the funny thing about life, so many people complain about bad police officers, but then at the same time, you're the first ones to call a police officer when one is needed. There are bad police officers, but there are also good police officers. So what we need to do is start identifying the bad officers. But in this situation, look at it the other way around. There's also bad people and good people. Bad people are doing things like this and killing police officers. Do you see what I'm saying? So in other words, police are looking at us the same way we're looking at them. Everybody's bad. Everybody's bad, so we're going to treat everybody the same. We need to change this around with the police officers and with civilians. There are bad and there are good. This has been throughout in our entire lives. I get there are some really bad police officers who should not be police officers. Matter of fact, I'm about to post one about Rivera, who is a very horrible, I think her dad's name was Rivera, who was a very horrible police officer, very prejudiced, arresting black people just because she didn't like them. I get that. Those are the people that need to be incarcerated with the bad police officers. Bad police officers do need to be incarcerated, but bad people need to be incarcerated too. So we need to change that mentality around and start thinking how we can get in a place where police officers are not getting killed and civilians are not getting killed by police officers and police officers are not getting killed by civilians. This has got to stop. Innocent people's lives are at risk. Everybody has families. Civilians have families. Police officers have families. And the thing about it is the training. The academy that police officers go through, if you have a bad person teaching it and not seeing those that actually are a risk on the street, and then you have the lieutenant and whoever else allows them to go out there when they see the warning signs, and they keeping them hired on after they see the warning signs, then that is bad training. Same with parents that are raising their kids, or if say some good parents and their kids are on drugs. Well, unfortunately, it's the same thing. That is bad parenting, bad environments or something. Parenting is very important and training is very important. Everything is not going to change in 1 year. But if we practice and start and not accept, then it will. Because this is just getting way out of hand. People are losing families. Children are losing their fathers and mothers. And it's just getting ridiculous. Seriously ridiculous. I pray for these police officers who lost their lives, and I pray for their families who are really going to need the community to help them. I also pray for any civilians who have been wronged by police officers. That's all I have to say. Please like and subscribe. Law and Crimes Toxicity.